Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
Somebody doesn't know how to host the
four,
show.
3, 2, 1.
One, two, three, four, five.
Skibbity-bop-bop-bop.
Whoop. Wildly uninteresting podcast. Episode
Murder.
98.
Yeah, man.
98. Can you believe it? How close you are to 100?
Real close.
Next week we got Dr. Sex Woods.
That's right.
Sex Woods.
In the hizzy, almost.
We're going to have to do it on Saturday.
Okay.
If not, it won't be Dr. Sex Woods.
Yeah. No,
we
that's
have to
fine.
make something work.
Okay.
You know, we'll just make it happen. Welcome back to the show. Obviously,
welcome back.
the energy level is low due to, I think, the way they changed the time on you without like telling you.
They
Like,
tell you.
I know, but back in the day, right? Everybody had alarm clocks. The shit didn't change by itself. So you had to gear up and know when that shit, or you were going to be late to work for sure.
I still check Google
Do you?
even now. Yeah.
We were
I don't
talking
trust
about
shit.
it before, and
Yeah.
I understand that they give us more work light, is what it is. Like during the winter, they want more light during the workday than like, you know what I mean? Because if not, you would have less light during the day, right? While you're at work.
I don't see who cares.
I don't see, because everybody in the trades, right? You wake up in the morning, it's dark. You come home at night, and it's dark. Usually, even in the summer, sometimes those guys work 14 hours. So
I mean, even if you look at the farmers, they have shit set up like it's a baseball
Farmers, yeah.
field.
yeah.
Hit the lights, and then that might not be true, but that's how I see it.
Yes.
Dude, I don't
Every
know
time
what
I
all
drive
plays
past
into it.
farms at night, they're always
Probably during like this time, especially because they're gonna get ready for sowing season.
Yeah.
So they have worked long hours.
I used to always, like you said, check Google, and I would like restart my phone because
yeah.
I had to be at work at 5 a.m. and I got up at 4:15, so I needed to make sure I was up at the exact time. I would like flip out. And I always worked on Sundays, every single daylight savings, whether it was forward or back,
Yeah.
every fucking Sunday.
I think what happens though is it throws your sleep schedule off. But that just goes to show you, if you're on a sleep schedule, like how much that 1 hour loss can do, or the 1 hour gain in a certain sense, because you get too much for certain people. It makes them a lot more tired.
Yeah.
Or if they get
tireder.
they get too much or they get too little. You know what I mean? So no matter what you do, you're fucked. But I guess it's only 2 days out of the fucking year, so I'd probably quit bitching about it, right?
Yeah, but still, it's
Yeah.
like 20% of the year.
Definitely
Totally
is.
20% of the year.
I like
Love
that.
your math. Dude, so me and Sarah have a habit of watching, which I think a lot of people in the world have a habit of watching, like true crime, right? And
Dude,
we do
don't
like
even. True crime is
Oh
fucking
no, I
awesome.
mean it is, but everybody and their brother loves that shit.
okay, so
Oh, it's true. Because I mean, Casper's mom and Tim, like they're obsessed with that shit. Mom
Love it.
watches it. It's just like, that's all I got.
That's it. That's
Oh,
all
that's
you
it.
got.
I'm not
I
feeling
like
really
that.
articulate today.
So really, Ian's just mad because a lot of people like something. That's why
Right.
he won't watch Orange Is the New Black.
so
Too many
Well,
people
that's
like it.
because after season 4 of Weeds, it went to shit. So I
Well-
have no hope.
No, Orange Is the New Black is great all the way through.
So like on those 2020 episodes where it's true crime, they speak on both sides of the victim and the aggressor, right? And they always tell a backstory, right?
Yeah.
And for the aggressor, it's always like they pick out the worst thing. Even if the dude usually is the male that like commits the crime, like rape or murder or kidnapping, whatever. It's the majority of what it is. Like on those things, they give a character that you can like stand to watch and talk about, and then they give a character that you're like, oh, that's obvious. The Mel did that, right? So usually it's some pretty whatever suburban blonde chick, yeah, and then some dude that like brutally messed her up, right? But anyways, so they
She's
always
so
tell a
brutally
backstory,
messed up.
and
Or whatever.
they'll be like, oh, like he got in a lot of trouble in high school, and he was evicted from an apartment, and like they'll pick out like the worst things, even like say they don't have like a criminal record. They'll just pick out random shit about the dude and just be like the worst. Or it could be even thing. He used to pick flowers for old ladies. What do you think that means? You know?
Yeah.
But it
Was
makes
he trying to get into their home to
Yeah, he
kill
was just
them?
waiting to victimize them.
he just can't wait to victimize.
Because you couldn't just hit an old lady over the head with anything.
Right. Like just your hand.
Oh! With your hand.
It makes
I
you wonder
feel weak.
if 2020 were to do any, like not even like a true crime story though, right? Just about you, right? Say you die tomorrow from some weird accident and they're like, we're going to pick the story up, right?
Right.
If 2020 were to make a like review of your history on Earth, right?
You mean like the
So-
show?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Okay.
So if they were to do that, like what
like
would
your
that
eyesight.
I was thinking the year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
what do you think they would say? Like what do you think yours would say? Because I was thinking that when I
everyone would
was
be
walking.
jacked that I was dead.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Like what? I haven't really done anything spectacular for them to be. I mean, I've done a lot of like bad shit.
Look at
and,
this
like,
judgmental slacker.
Yeah.
He accomplished nothing and looked down on everyone.
But it's always something like, oh, you know, their smile could light up a room, and they were this magic person or whatever. And then when the story progresses, you find out, no, she just cheated on with a married dude, just like normal human bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
But they like talk her up in the beginning. All the people in her family are just like, she was going places.
But that's all true crime is just storytelling about real people's lives. And
That went awry.
right. And they tell you the good stuff to make you like them initially.
Oh, to keep you like,
Yeah, but they give you the whole person. So
Oh, okay. So they
There's-
kind of have to do that.
yeah, I
But,
mean, at
but what
least to
what would
me-
it say about you? Like,
well, it would start off with everyone talking about how I lit up the fucking room, and
you think
my
people
laugh.
would really say that
Oh
about
yeah,
you?
look,
Come
talk
on.
to Camille, and she'd be like, "I want to bottle up her laugh and take it to cancer wards."
It would.
She
it
told
would,
me that.
It would definitely say
Just
this
play
bitch.
him the podcast.
They're like, this bitch was known to never be funny ever. We've heard it from a drug dealer.
Yes.
and she's not funny.
I
so
also
funny.
I think like with the true crime stuff, like you have to humanize the person as much as you can to give all those suburban clowns something to look at and think, oh, I can relate to this.
Yeah, that could be
oh,
me.
that could be
Yeah.
me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
because I mean, I'd like to think that a good number of them at least have like the desire to think, I could be capable of that because I do want to kill that neighbor.
right. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I
So
definitely-
that
I
was-
do hate Dawn.
that was
Yeah.
going to be my second point to touch on. Is something that I was thinking about. As far as like, so there's another reason why we attach these stories. It's because a certain amount of us, the vast majority, there are a lot of oppressed people that they just like repress these feelings and shit, and they don't know how to feel, and then one day they blow up. They're usually the ones that actually go through with it. But I think a lot of people who get into watching it, they're like, they want to live into that moment to see, like, to feel if they could do that. Like, kind
Like,
of
I
like deal
haven't-
with their dark side.
I was gonna say, for me, it's like I haven't quite reached my breaking point yet. But so I'm still like live vicariously through these people who are murdering everyone.
Everyone.
All the
Motherfucker
people.
killed 500.
That's
good.
I never thought about that though. It's like a way of dealing with their dark side.
right. Because you gotta
like
kind of
therapy.
you gotta like shake the hand of your dark side every now and then.
I always just kind of look down on it.
Yeah.
Like they're thinking like, oh yeah, man, if I had any balls, I'd do that.
Oh, and they're
but
living through
more
it,
so,
yeah.
it's like, maybe I do have to get comfortable with the dark part of myself.
For
right.
sure.
That's we were watching something.
Still fuck those people, but
We were watching Sinners or some shit, and the last story, I'm not going to go into it, and it's a spoiler alert for people who haven't watched it. It's something on Netflix. Anyways.
It's wonderful.
It's really based off of like an ideal from Nietzsche, right? And it's hard to explain. So anyways, there's a really, really bad guy that I honestly relate to, right? As far as like, we're all spinning on a rock. What does it matter? There is no thing, such thing as God, all that stuff, everything that I've ever talked about.
yeah.
And then you have the victims that he finally like blows up. In the beginning, you're like, he's kind of like I get it.
He's likable and
Yeah.
charismatic, and
He only did it
seems
one
decent.
time. Like he
Right.
just got in a weird way, but then he loses it and you find out that he's an actual psycho. But by the end of it, I'm like, I totally get the guy still. Like I'm not
Oh,
like
well,
when
yeah.
they kill him. I don't want to say it, but I said spoiler alert
know.
first. When they kill the dude at
Just
the
say
end,
it. Who gives a
I'm
shit?
sad, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I get where he's coming from. It's chaos, living chaos. Is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's somebody really getting in touch with their dark side and bringing it to life, right? Whereas like Sarah was like, he was fucking psychotic. Like this dude was crazy. Like he
I did
deserved
cry
to
though
go.
when he died. I
Yeah.
did cry
Because they make you like it. But I think a
Absolutely.
lot of people get into those because a lot of people can't deal with the dark side, right? They get comfortable and they have their little family and like they go to their job and they're just like,
I've never dreamed about choking out my child. Of
right. No shit. Of
course you haven't.
yeah. And that's but I think there's a lot of people that need to feel that emotion because they say that when you view trauma, it's just like going through it yourself in a sense, mentally speaking.
Yeah. Watered
So-
down, but
Yeah.
it's the same process.
Yeah, the brain interprets it like, oh, you're feeling a sense
Yeah.
of trauma. So then, I think a lot of people watch that so that they could live through that trauma either on the bad side or the good side of the story. And then, it kind of feeds that dark side. It suppresses that dark side a little bit. They're like, okay, I know it's there, but I know it won't pop up on my end. I'm good.
I can toy with it, but nothing will happen.
Right,
It's like you can play with fire from like 10 feet away.
right.
All right. I'm not going to engulf this building I'm in, though.
With some PPE on.
Some PPE.
PPE.
What is that?
Personal protective equipment.
Thanks.
You're welcome, man.
I didn't ask you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man.
Now,
It's
whenever
me.
she started answering, I was thinking, I'm asking him, motherfucker. And now she answered, I'm turning on you.
You're going to get it one way or
right.
another.
You're so easily influenced. Sure, just whatever you say.
So the tables have turned as far as like walking in the park goes, right? You know how before I
Does the
said
park
that.
walking you?
No, I wish that'd be cool.
No, there's
would be.
literally a bunch of tables that just twist.
You remember when I was
And they're
saying like
haunted.
when I'm walking down a trail and then like there's always I walk by like a bunch of like single women that are there by themselves, and not like all the single ladies, but like only the women, and you can tell like the uncomfortable walk that they do past me, and I do an uncomfortable thing where I get off the path and then I look the opposite way, right?
Yeah.
So that they don't think I'm like gonna rape them. But now,
That's what I would do. That would be my move if I were going to rape them. I'd look the other way to kind of, like, oh, see,
Trick
this is
'em
it's
out.
the old switcheroo. I'm not going to rape you. Just kidding.
just kidding. But so I thought about it because I go up there at weird times and shit. So
I'm just looking at this flower.
oh, I swear I've done it multiple times, and you could tell it kind of makes them more uncomfortable. So I
Yeah.
stopped doing it because I would actually like walk off the trail and let them go first, just being nice.
Why
You
don't
know
you
what I
just
mean?
say hi?
Oh, I
Hey,
do. I
how's it
do
going?
now. I like look up when I'm walking. Usually I'm looking down at my feet. I've done it since I've been a kid.
Yeah, because no
But-
rapist has ever said hi to their victim before raping them.
So now,
Hey, there's no way of making it less terrible. Not going to rape you. Oh, God, he is.
so now that I'm
911.
walking, I'm like, this morning I was like, what if somebody rapes me while I'm thinking about like these people worried about me raping them?
Yeah.
What if some dude runs out of the bush?
Yeah, like the chick is the bait, and then the
Yes.
dude's going to run up and rape you.
My mental state changed after that. I was like, I'm a person who could be raped at this point. because
Velociraptors.
all this time, I've been vulnerable thinking that I could be the rapist.
Yeah.
And it's not true. I'm not the
tables
rapist.
turn.
Some dude's in a bush, like this guy walks here every day. He has a routine. He comes up here by himself. He wants to be fucked. So I'm going to fuck him.
He
Look
must
at him.
want it. Why else
Look
would he
at
be
him.
here?
He
Look
looks
at him.
so wanting to fuck.
So I started looking up as well. I was like, I'm not getting raped, right? So I'm going to look
right.
up at the path. Because I'm usually, I don't
so
want to
big.
talk to people. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to show you their dog. Or their kids have to go pee all the
Why,
time.
whenever
You're
you're
gonna say
walking
dick.
around, like, do you look hard or like
No.
demeanor? Not
Like
like
this.
Oh.
Yeah.
It
Like,
depends.
Are you like fucking walking. Or are you just like, oh, doop.
I'm strolling, but I'm never in like walking clothes. I'm like in my work pants and my fucking
You
work
don't
boots.
look like you belong at all.
Yeah, everybody else like buys tracksuits and fucking shorts and stuff, and like they have specific outfits for it. Tennis shoes. I'm up there in boots, like I'm about to do a job, and I'm always like people because I have
Sounds
my
like code for murder.
the other day I had my hood up and then I had my sunglasses.
Oh,
right?
God.
I swear I look like the fucking
Unabomber.
Unabomber.
Yeah, that was my
for
first
sure.
thought. Like,
So
it's like, do you not know how to look?
Not look like a rapist.
Yeah, like
That's-
look
that's
not
what I'm saying.
suspect. It's like, did your time in prison just make it to where anytime you're around people, you're like, well, I'm suspect.
fucking clothes are all not fitting right. I have like pants tucked into my boots and shit,
Yeah.
looking like a weirdo, a real weirdo.
Neither one of us ever looks appropriate when we go there. I always wear flip flops. Who wears flip flops to go hike? I mean,
Idiots.
yeah, me.
It's super weird, dude. But
I
now
guess people that'll take their flip flops off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's so
Hell
weird
yeah.
to think that like somebody could be watching my pattern, knowing that like I'm going up there a lot and stuff. And it just dawned on me. I'm like, it would just, how that's not ironic. I don't think that's ironic. But just how weird would that be? Me feeling like these women, because a lot of women. This is based off like the true crime and stuff, and there's a lot of things brought to light. And
Yeah.
with worldwide internet usage,
Web.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to sound like a fucking old man. So with like all that up, like you see all the bad. Like the bad is just posted all day, every day, and it's not like that shit used to go on back in the day, but we didn't have it at our fingertips where we could read about it all day long.
Yeah, it was
right?
just urban legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people could just be happy through the day, not getting raped, right? Well, now I feel like most women feel vulnerable.
Now it's just all
Absolutely.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. While I'm walking down a trail in my work boots,
Rape is
Looking like the
ubiquitous
Unabomber.
because of the internet.
Yes.
I'm over here picking like flowers and shit and looking at
Well,
bees taking down spiders and
Invest in some shoes
I got
and a comfortable shirt
fuck that.
and maybe
It's too
some just regular fitting pants.
Look, you have all that stuff though. He has like clothes that are appropriate to go and like hike in. He just
just
doesn't
don't wear
wear
Just his
them.
inner killer won't let him. I need y'all to know.
But that's how I feel like I feel like that has made the uncomfortableness at like a higher thing, right? Because I would never like I'd come run into somebody's rescue for anything at that matter. But like it just like the point of it. So I walked by an old lady the other day, like not an older lady, not a old lady.
Yeah,
She
she's
was like
like
in her
40.
fucking 40s, yeah. So I walked
lady.
past her,
I
dude.
know, I was dying, bitch.
Bitch, I'm 34.
And
Okay.
I was curious because I could see the look on her face when I walked by her. And I was like, I wonder if she turned around and looked at me, right? So I will turn around, and if she goes to turn around, I'll like snap back real quick so she don't know I'm looking, right? I didn't realize
she
how
does.
weird that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she just sees
Until
the
it
snap.
happened. Yeah. And then
It's
it,
like you're
it
not
was
being
like,
cool about it. You're just like you're looking and you're super on edge about her knowing that you're looking.
I was just like trying to see. I'm like, I wonder if they worry about like, because they're always wearing headphones if somebody's going to come up behind them and stuff. And sure enough, she'd look back at me and I was like, I just made it weirder.
Maybe
like, how do
she
I
thought
not
you
make this
were-
weird?
Maybe she thought you were cute.
Should hit her with one of those.
Hell yeah.
Oh, fuck
I know
me.
sometimes, like, because it is always something that's kind of just in my mind, is I need to be alert and aware of who's around me, what's around me, not being like on my phone and shit when I'm walking, like
Right.
just basic self-protection things.
Yeah.
But there are times that someone looks at me and I'm like, that person just thought I was hot. Like
Yeah.
you can, there's like a difference between, I feel like this dude's going to rape me and he just thought I was pretty. You can kind of feel it a little bit.
See, like there's with that idea of like looking around and being aware of what's happening when you're out walking shit. Like I do that too.
Yeah.
And I hate the idea whenever women talk about shit. They're like, I'm always looking, I don't know who's coming from where.
on
And I'm
a
like,
swivel.
I
Yeah.
deal with that shit too. And
I
they're like,
know,
no,
right?
no, it's different for women. Oh, what I want to get my brains like
Yeah, no
bashed
shit.
in. Fucking idiot women.
Well, and really,
Adam, take your segment. Run with it.
well, and anyone who's, semi-smart would do that because anyone can be attacked. Like you said, like we just think about rape. Like you could be raped too.
Right?
But I
I'm
feel
cute.
like, God, you're so rapeable.
Somebody can stab you.
I got a butthole.
And the act of stabbing is a sexual arousal for men to men.
Yeah.
Like they'll stab you, and that's like penetration for that murderer, that rapist. I mean, so they're sexual sadists or some shit. I don't know.
Are you a rapist murderer or a murderer rapist?
Always a murderer first. I feel like though rapists actually are almost always rapists first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's just a murder necrophiliac.
Yeah. But I think the thing I think about most frequently when I'm walking in regards to this is someone snatching my knife out of my pocket. Because it's always in my back.
And using it on you.
Mm-hmm. That's what I think about more than anything.
And you're like, that's what hurts the most. It was my own weapon.
I will say though that on the weekends there's always like families, right? So and I mean it's packed full of families. And this guy got out of the guy drove. You could tell this dude had worked all week, and he drove up to the top of this hill just wanting to take a walk, just to walk. He's there with his wife and his 4 kids, right? The 4th little kid comes out after the dad had already taken him to the bathroom, damn thing, because he verbally said it to this kid. He was like, "Are you kidding me? I just took you to the bathroom." He gets all the way up this hill to go hike. He just wants to go look at the thing, but has to drive his entire family back down the hill for the one kid to take another piss after he already took him to the bathroom. And it dawned on me, I'm like, I'm so glad.
In the truck.
I'm so glad that I don't have kids, because then like I was thinking the other day, like 2 of my very close ex-girlfriends and my like ex-wife died, right? If I had a kid with them, I would have to be the sole provider after that. Like I'd have to take over.
Why not just teach the kid to pee in the woods like a man?
Right?
It's not like he had
We're
to
not
poop.
in that world anymore. If he does that, like if he teaches them that move, like what is
If
that
he
going to
gets
say about
caught,
the parent?
Then he has to register as a sex offender.
Yeah, but then you got to teach him that move so that he doesn't get caught. You got to teach your kid to pee publicly
smooth.
intelligently.
Yeah. I pee publicly all the time still. I'm a
Yeah.
grown-ass man.
Yeah.
I'll do it anywhere.
Hell yeah.
Except for if I am inside the lake. I can be outside the lake peeing in the lake.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I
That's
can't
fucking
be in
weird.
the lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, you
But I
name
feel
it,
like-
I'm peeing on it.
If that's the case, you may as well just pee on your own leg.
Yeah.
I feel like you could just like walk down the street, like on the sidewalk with people around, whip your dick out and pee, but don't put you on water. Like you just can't do it in water.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But
It's
you know
water.
what? Last time we went, I couldn't. I could not. I've never had a problem pissing anywhere, and it took me a fucking hour.
It was so weird, dude. She sat there for an hour, but like had to pee so
I
bad
had
that
to
it
pee
hurt.
so bad.
But yeah, we sat there forever, and I was just like,
Should've
"This
just
is a
tickled
weird
her.
time." But I was like, "Why don't you just like come up the ladder and then pee like a guy off the side with your butt hanging over?" I was like, "That could work." I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but it's weird. But yeah, we don't live in that society anymore. I think if you taught your kid that, people would have a lot to say about that.
Well, I feel like people would have something to say about that back in the day, but you wouldn't read about it on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah,
And
see where
so,
we're going.
You know,
yeah.
if you stay the fuck off social media, or just tailor your the people you follow towards people that are gonna not care about something like that,
give a shit.
then you won't know.
Well,
Plus, you say "fuck you, bitch."
fuck you. This is
Teaching
my
my
world.
kid to pee in
Well-
public like a gentleman.
And I bet that if this dude hadn't been with his girl, he probably would have let the kid pee outside, but she probably didn't want him to.
Simmer
Yeah,
down,
then-
bitch.
then you have the
Do
three
you
other-
want to take him to the bottom of the hill so he can
Yeah.
pee? Shut the fuck up. We're going to the trees.
The more I watch people, like families, which we had like a dysfunctional deal growing up. So it's like I understand more as to like what went on when I was a kid. There's certain things you don't understand when you're a kid. And then when you grow up, you're like, oh, okay, I totally get, when my dad would get upset about something or my mom would, like, I was a fucking little shit. I was a little shit.
Yeah.
And I was a burden, not a burden, so to speak, right?
You were a burden.
But let's face it, any child is technically a burden
Yeah.
to your self-living, right?
Yeah.
Your own time. And I know there's going to be parents that are like, well, I'm a proud parent. I'm happy. Love you. All right, let's face it, though. There's times where you want to rip his fucking hair out of his head because he's being a little shit.
and feed it to him.
You're going to eat this.
Feeding you.
No, I'm just saying that, like, I kind of get some of the things, and then, like, and anything beyond, I get it now, as I'm older, and I can view other parents doing it, because I know if I had a fucking kid, like, if I had a kid with either one of those females that died, right, and I had to be the sole responsibility in a relationship like that didn't have a kid, didn't want a kid.
Stepmom.
Holy shit. It come to my brain and I'm like, I can't even deal with this. Like, and it wasn't even real. But I was like, what if that ever happened? I was like,
Right.
you go from, having them on the weekends or whatever the custody agreement is to having them every fucking day.
No
Say
shit.
I had a kid with both of them. Now you got two of them. What the fuck am I going to do with my
Luckily
time?
for you, I'm fairly certain that I'm barren, so you don't ever have to worry about
Hostile
that. If I
uterus.
die, I'm just dead.
I've always felt that way too. Like, either I'm very good at pulling out, like the best at pulling out,
Right.
or I don't have sperm that swim.
Maybe you've just been fucking a bunch of barren bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Banging barren bitches.
Everybody's
Banging
got a
barren
type,
bitch.
He just finds those barren bitches.
I fucking sniff them out.
Drawn to them.
No, I just think about that. Like, mom taught us at a very young age to use condoms, and I learned that you could pull out, and then, but
So I dropped that lesson real quick.
I dropped that real quick. But you know what I mean? It's just so crazy that I don't have a kid. I'm glad, but there might be some non-swimmers
shit.
down here.
Oh, I thought you were going to say there might be some unclaimed Adams out there.
Luckily not, man.
That'd be crazy. That's something I've thought about is being a guy. I mean, obviously, like if I had a child, I would be aware of it. If y'all had a child,
Obviously.
you'd never know. I mean, you could possibly never
Yeah.
know. There's not that
Possibly.
possibility for me.
You
Unless
just said
you
it.
just think you're getting fat and you black out and somebody stole it from you.
Something weird happened.
in that same thought experiment where I was like, oh, I could have a kid,
Yeah.
and then whatever, or I could have a kid just floating around out there, right? Like you said,
Floating.
I was like, well, Sarah could never be in that same situation because you could never have a
Right.
kid and be like, well, I didn't know I had the kid, like you know what I mean? That's so weird.
It is weird.
And I see like there's a lot of dudes that walk away from a relationship, don't ever even fucking like lift a finger. Somehow that's okay
I don't know.
in society.
I don't know how someone can do that. I fucking hate children in the sense that I would never have one, not voluntarily.
Yeah.
But I could never just up and walk away from someone who
Yeah.
relies on you. Like literally, you're looking at like a teeny tiny baby when you decide to do that.
Teeny tiny you.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I could do it in the context of like I did everything I could to talk the chick into an abortion or adoption, and
Yeah.
she's still like, no, I'm having this kid. Like, I spent the last 6 months trying to talk you out of it. Deuces.
Yeah, I'm not
Track me
gonna be
down if you want, but
Yeah, because I mean, inevitably, like you'd probably get flagged for child support. Like, fuck it, you're probably gonna get that anyways.
Yeah.
So, I can see that too. I can totally see it, and I get like the family, and then you'll have people that throw religion in there, like, oh, it's against God's rule to fucking not take care of your kid, and how could you do that as a man? And
People gotta get over that shit.
but
I wish
there's a
religion
lot
would
of-
stop being brought into things.
Oh,
they
that'll
don't
never
belong.
happen. Yeah, that'll never.
where
happen.
does it belong?
At church.
You can go to church, but don't you dare let that into your opinion, and don't you dare quote it at me.
Dude,
Come up with your own arguments.
any
That's
big
right.
decision should not be based on something that is solely based off faith and no proof. Like, any rational argument
Right.
should never involve Christianity, God, religion, none of that.
Especially like bringing another life into the world, like there's a big responsibility. So making that decision based off something that you have no evidence on is stupid. Especially if you're like at the point you don't want children. Why would you have a kid? Why would you do it? Because maybe you're going to be looked at as bad. Accept Jesus Christ into your fucking heart and you'll still get into heaven. Abort that baby, please.
Abort
Hell
that
yeah.
thing.
Well, think about how stupid the average person is. And then,
God, I know.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, everybody with a brain knows that's George Carlin. But, and then half the population stupider than that. Those people aren't thinking in terms of that.
No.
They're just like, oh, this is how I was raised.
Oh.
A lot of it comes from people don't at a certain point ask any questions. They're just like, well, I was taught this since I've been a kid, right? So it's just part of my life, and that's the way it is. There's no other thing. Like, just like racist people were taught that when they were a kid. They learned that from their parent, and it was normal in their household and shit. And then when they go out in the world and it's not fucking socially acceptable,
never question it.
they don't question it until like somebody brings it to their attention and fucks them up for being that way, right? But it's just like that with everything else. Like, a lot of people just don't want to question the ritual. They don't want to question life. They don't want to question death. They don't care. Yeah. Like, they want to think that there's some fucking place you go and you can worship God and suck his dick for the rest of eternity. Like, that's what they want to think.
Well, you can.
I hope so.
Just don't be a dick about it.
If I could suck a dick for eternity, I'd be pretty happy.
Please, God, let there be a place where I can go and suck you off.
We're going down for this one.
And all it takes is 10%.
Will you turn my headphones down a little bit?
Yeah. Eminem, I will.
Do you think it would be in an alley or like a really nice hotel?
A nice golden hotel.
I was thinking it would be a really fancy alley.
Or a golden alley.
It
would have to be, right?
The gutters are made with gold.
That'd be cool.
That's super weird, though, man. Like, I don't know why that always pops in my head. Maybe that's just, I don't know, just the way I am. But I just don't, I guess I'm a man who wants to understand, right? Make me understand. And when you can't say anything else but, oh, the Bible says that. Oh, you have to have faith. Oh, blah, blah. Like, I just don't understand how a human with the capabilities of the human brain can honestly believe in Christianity.
Well, I mean, you did for a while, so why?
Because I wanted to play music with my dad.
I was going to say, he didn't question.
Yeah. And when I was from when I was born to 7 years old, like when we got out of the church, I didn't question because the family, that's what the family did. Right. And grandma, like, if you didn't fucking go, she's going to beat that ass.
Right.
My nanny would beat that ass if she didn't go.
There was a decent period of time, too, when he was still going and was like, this is just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I just wanted to play music with my dad, and that was like where, you know, every Sunday I could go play. And I'm like,
guaranteed. Well,
I'll just play this game. And then when I verbally said that on the podcast, like, I am playing this game when I'm not this, like, I'm not going to shut down my entire being for something you can't prove to me, like, at all.
Well, and maybe there are people that, you know, they like the social aspect of it. They go, they see the same people every week.
Yeah.
And then there are those people that go and they like to just be seen.
There.
Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, see, I'm a good Christian. I come every week. You see I tip 15%.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Big
like
Jordan
Peterson talking about how it gives the person going like a moral hierarchy, right? So they're above the people who don't. So then when you show up to court or something, what do they say? Like, oh, his church come to support him. They wrote notes. They did all this. He's a Christian man. He's a part of the community, blah, blah, blah. It plays into everything that we do. And if you don't
go... it makes you a good person because you
automatically
go to church.
It is better than somebody that doesn't have any search for higher morals.
Yeah.
Now,
I can see that.
I mean, within that, there are those people that don't truly understand what's happening.
Right.
And then they're just regurgitating stuff, but it's still better than the deviant that lives in the shadows of their basement.
So for the sake of, if say you're in court and you need to show that you have higher morals or that you have any kind of morals other than church, how do you
do that?
How do you do that?
That's a good one.
You can't be like, oh, like I express my spirituality at home. Like you can
how about this?
Come and watch.
So you do it with extracurriculars, like taking care of the homeless or picking up trash on the weekends or this or that.
Whatever
things that are documentable.
Volunteering, basically, in the community.
And bring them to the court and be like, look, you know, you can say whatever you want, but this is what I do on a daily basis or in my life, right? And then you look at the Christian that you're, you know, mirrored against.
Right.
And then you see, oh, well, they just go to church every Sunday.
Even with you guys, like giving the homeless blokes the sandwiches and underwear and shit, you know?
Right.
And I had a conversation with my new grandma. I'll say new grandma.
New G-Ma.
New lady. But I said that I was like, so that don't count for anything. Does it not count that I go and I talk to the universe and God, my form of God, every single day on top of a hill I'm talking to myself, really. I'm making myself feel better. I'm giving myself a pep talk because I'm telling you, I've been up there a million times. Nobody talks back except for my brain.
That's good.
But don't you ever feel better or have like epiphanies?
I feel way better up there than I ever have once going to church and like, putting money in the fucking, whatever they call it.
The
Offering.
the charity booth.
Or talking to somebody or having people pray with me. By myself up there is the most peaceful, most serene place I can go to just like let it out. Even the dark side, let it out. Like all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And then, but you can't prove that. So I cornered her one day. Well, she cornered me and I said that for the first.
Listen, Grandma.
We're just cornering each other.
I'm not a man of confrontation. I don't like to do it. I'm a very nice guy. And I told her, I was like, yo, we do as much as we can. We donate as much as we can. I was like, and I talk to my God, my universe, every single day on top of a hill. I don't need to go in a church for that. And especially, like, I don't need to prove anything to the rest of those people in there.
Right.
And you know how fucking good that felt to tell somebody who's a Bible thumping, like, die hard. If you don't believe in God, you're going and burning in hell.
This is the only way to live life.
And it felt so fucking good.
I do believe in God, just not your bullshit theology.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't think they recognize how much of a theology it is. Like, there's never been proof of anything. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
The entire
very
Bible's accounts. But anyways, I know we always get on a tangent.
That's what history is.
I know that, but I think there's more proof, though, archaeological proof, stuff like that, things that have lasted through the years, and carbon dated.
Certainly, to a certain extent, there's evidence of other things.
Right.
Not so much with religion.
Yo, there's evidence of dinosaurs, bro. And there ain't one piece of evidence for Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Not one thing.
But I mean, the dinosaurs.
Do you think it just like rained bones one day?
Well, the dinosaur bones were put there by the Jews and the devil. So.
Sure.
I
mean, if that isn't evidence of God, then I don't know what.
Well, and they backdated them. They're like, this has only been 2,000 years ago. We need to make it look like, millions. How do we do that?
It's got to be older. We need clout for this. Scott, tell him it's 5 million years old.
We brought in a specialist, Scott.
Awesome.
Scott, the specialist.
No, it's so weird, man. I know we always talk about it, but I think that because I like to make sense of things, and it's one thing that I cannot make sense of. And the older I get, the more I recognize how fucking outrageous it is, and how egregious it is to believe in something like that.
Well, just think of it in terms of like with the Jordan Peterson approach to where they're just stories.
Yeah.
And you can learn something from it, and there you go. And then when it comes to like the Bible thumping Christians that are annoying, just think, I don't mind the actual Dallas Cowboys, but I fucking hate their fans. Their fans are idiots.
Yeah.
So the Christians are just Cowboys fans.
Yeah. So
Nice.
they just
Well
watch
put.
the Cowboys, but they don't go to the games.
Well put.
I ain't never been to that stadium, and I don't need to go.
I'm never fucking going.
Some
Never.
Cowboy fan fucking Christian is going to hang the shit out of you.
They're
Right.
definitely going to come and hunt this down.
Yeah, they're going to kill you
gonna be
on the
fun.
football field for sure. 50-yard
I'll see them
line,
coming in their
everybody's here.
giant ass trucks, though.
Definitely with their flags hanging off
They're
their back.
fucking longhorn on the front of the truck, fucking rolling in deep.
Oh, yes. That's good
Bitches.
shit.
Something else that I've noticed, man, like I've picking up like a new artist
Pick it up, pick
and
it up,
listening
pick
to
it
him, and then like going on YouTube, and there's an overwhelming amount of this going on, and I don't know what this is, but maybe you have an explanation to it, right? So I
Please
look up
teach
an
us.
an artist,
Teach us,
right?
Adam.
And I'm like, man, I really like this artist, right? I don't want you to sway my opinion one bit. I like the artist. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I like him, right?
Yeah.
And there is an overwhelming amount of people, no name, fucking didn't do anything with their life, a little shit ass fucking 20-something-year-old piece of shit in a basement somewhere,
Piece of shit in a basement.
and they're talking shit about said artist, right?
Right, yeah.
They're just like, oh, well, this is just trash and shit. Motherfuckers have never put out a platinum album or anything. They haven't even barely made a YouTube channel work, right? but they're fucking like talking shit about somebody who has sold millions of records and shit. And they're like, well, I just don't fucking get it. And they're just a copycat of this. And they're just another pop remix, blah, 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 blah. What's up with all the fucking hate, bro? You name any artist, go onto YouTube, and there's somebody that's like, this is why they're terrible.
Well, yeah, I'm contributing to that. You're barking up the wrong tree on this one, buddy.
Oh,
I'll tear down people.
Really?
Because like I've been trying to find new music to listen to lately.
Yeah.
And like
that's hard.
95% of what I come across, I end up tearing it down because I'm like, well, this is just a derivative of this. This is this combined with this.
Yeah.
This sounds like the last 3 songs I've heard.
Okay.
So, I mean, there is just a bunch of shit out there.
So I guess they're just not capitalizing so much, but bringing it to light through a platform saying,
Yeah.
we want good music. Stop giving us this copycat bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it that way. I just thought it was like just out of pure hate, people just like, fuck anybody who does anything good or whatever. Like, I just saw it as a bunch of hate. I'm like, why are these people hating on, I mean, these people did it. Like, are you mad at them for doing it?
This kind of ties into, like, whenever I was growing up, and I'd introduce old people to, like, a movie or music, and they're like, well, this is just this with this. Like, this isn't anything original. We're like, can't you just enjoy it for what it is? But as I get older, I see that it's like, this is just this combined with this. Can't you enjoy it for what it is? Well, it's just A and B. I've already seen and heard this.
I've already enjoyed that multiple times. I don't need to enjoy it.
Then I think in terms of like whenever Radiohead made like OK Computer and Kid A and shit, and like that revolutionized music at the time.
Right.
Like the Beatles did.
Right.
Right.
Biggie did.
Like Biggie did. But you can't expect that all the time. But at the same time, if you're not revolutionizing stuff, then you're just copying people. And unless you're a fan of like a wide variety of music, then you really are just copying something that came before.
Right.
So it's annoying and it's fun to cut shit down. But then I just sound like a grumpy old man. Because I was telling Casper about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is just this. This is bullshit. Fuck this. And then she's just like,
Never mind.
like, there's my grumpy old man.
I get that way too though sometimes. I'm just like, I fucking hate everything that people do. I mean, I get that way.
I hate everything that people do.
Yeah, dude.
Like fucking truly hating Post Malone when Chaz showed him to me. I was like, this dude is a fucking loser. Like, whitewashing rap. Like, and then I get to listen to him. I'm like, he's actually a talented guy.
Yeah,
right.
I was
Maybe
talking
not
yesterday about how I respected him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to get
funny.
there.
Oh, I was just going to say, it's funny that you've always been that way, though. The only thing that's changed is you've aged. So therefore, now you're a grumpy old man. Before you were probably just a hoodlum or something. But it's only your age that has changed.
I was just a pissed off kid. Now I'm a grumpy old man.
Yeah. But you're just the same.
Yeah. Because a lot of stuff is bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
People want to parade it as it's like, oh yeah, this is great. No.
Or the thing that kills me is an artist coming out like they're changing the face of whatever group of music, or they don't want to be labeled in a certain thing. They're like, I'm this, but they sound like an exact copy of a pop song or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you're not woke. You're not like whatever.
You're just
you're not
young,
doing anything.
copying shit, and you have a great marketing team behind you.
Yeah.
You suck.
A lot of those people like lose their fucking minds by age 26, 27, right? And they go on this like weird journey and they're like, I found myself. In reality, that's like what we do anyways. Like the shit like I've learned in the last fucking 30 years. I mean, it's just progressive. It's a marathon, not a fucking race, right? But then like a lot of these people that they're bringing into the music industry are like, back when they did doo-wop, like they told them what to say, sing, what to play, what to do, and they put them on stage, right? Same thing they're doing now. They're doing the same exact shit, but they're doing it with like, these 15, 16-year-olds.
Different people.
By the time they're 27, they don't know what real world is.
Well, it's because it's the tastes of the mass population are pretty easy to predict.
Yeah.
And then they just keep churning out that same shit because they're like, okay, we're an industry. We need to make money.
Yeah. What's the bottom line when it comes to the music industry? Yeah.
Oh,
No, you're truly right about that. they've done that in all aspects of life, and they're doing it now with social media and all that. It's the same thing that they're doing. They're triggering that human brain, that button in the human brain that makes you tick, and they're going to capitalize off that. And if it doesn't fit the bottom line, we're not bringing it on. Like, we're not going to like revolutionize anything because it's not a part of the bottom line. We can't make that work, man. It's not bringing anything. We're going to take a fucking huge risk on that. Eat a dick. We're going to keep feeding out like pop music that sounds
Huge
the same.
risk my ass.
Right.
But it's kind of just baffling. But I do get that. Okay, now I get it to where people will have that opinion. They're just trying to get it out there. Like, can't you see that because they appeal to a younger group. You'll have a 27-year-old artist appealing to 13, 14-year-olds, right?
Because they're like, that age group is just outside of like the 13, 14. They're like, this is what I'm going to be soon.
Yeah.
I idolize this.
Yeah.
Like earlier, I've been trying to find new shit, but instead of searching for like alternative crap and things of that nature, well, Casper and I were driving around earlier. I just put on the top 100 songs from Japan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And it was interesting. I mean, there's some cool shit, mostly with like just their approach to like the instrumentation and stuff. But there was one chick in particular, I don't remember her name, but I thought, this is just Japanese pop country.
Right.
And then there was the Japanese Jason Mraz.
Yep. That's
Yes.
something that is odd that happens in China and Japan, especially, man. Like, they have watched how the Western world does things, right? And how that superstardom goes. And actually, theirs is overtaking ours at the moment. Like, it's getting bigger because they have more people to feed it to.
Yeah.
But they did like a time. It's the same exact thing going on in both locations. One place just picked it up. They were like, look what they're doing.
Eat that music, Amazon.
I swear to God, dude. I watched a whole documentary about that. And like K-pop and shit, like the Korean pop. Like, it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
In a different country. And they're like, we're going to fucking like appeal to the masses just like America. For what reason? We're nothing special. You think we're like, you want to be like us? Like, you're going to head down the shitter with us. Like, be different. If we haven't taught you anything.
Glamorous.
Yeah. They see like little tidbits overseas.
Yeah,
This
but
looks good.
they know that this, and this all work when you combine them. So
Yeah, why not
why
do
would
it?
we do, C, D, and E? We could just do A, B, and C. Like, why would we ever do that? Too much risk involved in that. No one wants the risk. Everyone just wants the money.
Status quo, right?
Money.
Is that the way it goes? Like, that's everybody. You just appeal to the status quo. Business as usual. Don't fuck that up. If you fuck that up, you're fired.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. You're awful.
You're going to be fucking poor. Good luck making records in Alaska.
That's
There's like 7 people there.
that new the kid Russ or whatever. He's a rapper, and he's coming out and like telling these other kids that are trying to come up in the game, like, you don't have to have a label. You can do it all yourself. You can name your price. You don't have to have them anymore, right? And the record labels hate them for that, right? They hate them for that. But it's the same thing like with me starting my own business, learning how easy it was. And not only that, but I make more than I did when I was working overtime with companies and breaking my back. Now I can make my own schedule. I mean, I still have to work hard. Don't get me wrong. But there's more of it's less stressful. I don't have to answer to anybody. All I have to do is take care of the person in front of me, right?
Yeah.
Make
Well,
sure
see,
they're
it's-
taken care of.
You have
every day.
control and fulfillment.
It's
Yeah.
not 9 to 5. It's a little bit more disorganized, I guess.
Like
than
7
the,
to 3.
But that's less stressful
It'll
in a
be
sense.
like Monday and Wednesday and
okay.
Thursday and Saturday. Like, it's just whatever. But next week it's different. So
But it's super like that's less stressful than having to deal with the hierarchy of a company where
Hell yeah.
you come to me, you don't go above me because there's a chain of command. And if you don't come to me and bring this and then I get the glory for it, I'm gonna fucking fire you.
You do it this way. Well, it's
it.
better this way. That's not protocol.
That's our protocol. You'll make me look bad. My pride is a big inflated balloon, and if you pop it,
Balloon.
we're gonna have troubles. There's gonna be problems here.
don't pop my
Right?
balloon.
And I've seen it with companies. You know what I mean? Even with a small company that's just growing, and they cultivate that. They cultivate that shit in the chain of command and bring it to me so I can get the glory. And if the shit falls, I'm gonna fucking blame it on you.
Right.
But you're not gonna get the glory for anything, right? But I'm gonna, whatever. But then I step outside of that and do your own thing, you realize the curtain kind of lifts up, right? And I'm sure it's like that in the music industry. The curtain comes up, and you realize the difference that's made. That's why I feel like we're going to progress into a society where we don't work for somebody else's dream, that we work for our own. We have apps now that we can just pop on there, pick a job, and do it. Do I want to work today? Nah, fuck it. I'll just turn the phone off, right?
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? The bullshitness of like a company, a corporation, the music industry, you name it, is bullshit. Like,
Of course it is.
it's a construct that it just doesn't work anymore, right? But they're just like turning it out. Like, we got to make it work.
Well,
All
and
these
then
years
if
has
you
worked.
if you do anything differently, like people look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah.
But really, I feel like the people that look at you like you're crazy are just the ones that don't really know how things work. The ones who have,
Or they don't want,
This
I mean,
isn't
place.
how it's done.
yeah,
Well, it could be.
yeah, it absolutely is because I'm fucking doing it this way.
they're better off inside of a ritual, inside of security,
The box.
inside of comfort. Because it's more comfortable there. No doubt about that. More
Right.
comfortable wherever that is, and somebody else is picking up the pieces, in a sense. But when it comes down to it, man, I think we're gonna progress into a place where we do our own fucking thing. Like, we don't need somebody fucking like micromanaging bullshit. Like, take that somewhere else. Go to a different country somewhere.
Yeah.
Take that shit somewhere else. Go on a boat.
Get that shit
Take
out of
the
here.
people that want to go with you, and you all go fucking fish or something. I don't know what you do on a boat.
I wish
aside
you
from fish.
always
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
walk around. It depends on what kind of boat.
Gonna walk around on a boat?
Yeah,
You ever
But
been on a cruise?
you got to
No.
come to me,
Because it's awesome.
and you got to ask me if you can walk or if you can sleep on your bed, because I'm the boss around here.
You gonna let me walk, boss?
Nope.
There's a supervisor in
Can I-
position for you to ask me that question. You go to the supervisor first. Don't bring that bullshit to me.
I'm the supervisor. Can I sleep on my bed now, boss?
Yes.
Thanks,
Sure, man.
All right.
Only between the hours of.
That's what I was going to say. 7 and 8 is when you lay on the
God
bed.
damn it, dude.
That's
the
not
more
a
I
lot
think,
of time.
No, it's not.
I told Sarah, so I could be fucking broke in a box. I'll never go like if I there's a lot of shit I can do.
Like folded in half
yeah,
inside of a
fucking
box
inside
or
of
like
a box.
pour.
As shit inside of a box,
Yeah.
right? Before I ever go back to a company, because now that the curtain's raised, you can't unfucking like you can't put it back down
You
and
can't
it'd be
drop
okay.
that shit.
Yeah.
It'd be rough.
Show ain't over.
I see what it takes to run a company. And I totally get it for bigger companies and stuff like that. But then when you see what guys in my field make on a daily basis and the shit they take on a daily basis, they don't correlate. They're so far on the other side of the spectrum of how much they make and what they deal with. It's fucking absurd to me. Mm-hmm. All the stress and shit from it, like, fuck that. You get what I'm talking about.
No.
No.
You did just go on a tangent.
My
Yeah.
bad.
Why do we let him do that?
I like it.
All right. I'm cool with it.
Of course, I've also tried to interject. No, I didn't really at all. I'm just joking.
Stop your
So you
tangent.
always
Listen to
yell
me.
Feel free to always yell above me.
I'm just joking. I had nothing to say.
I don't know. Sometimes there's a lot of stuff that I think about during the day. That's one of the big ones. And then when you talk about like a music industry preying on children, because they're children when they're 15, 16, you know.
The music industry waiting in the shadows.
Yeah.
Children.
They fucking get them when they're young.
Child cut.
And then you have like fans that are like, well, they sound exactly the same. Well, of course they do. The same record label is pumping out the same 16-year-old every single time.
Yeah.
So, you know.
every single time.
Every single time. Like, so what are you going to get? You can't blame the artists for that. Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
at what
you
they do.
can.
Yeah, they could say
Because
no.
they could say no.
Yeah.
You know, I thought about that the other day. I'm like,
I
all
guess
the
when you're like
stress
15.
I don't
It's a
care.
little
Make
different.
something with some heart and soul.
Yeah.
while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have the chance to.
But actually,
Even
I
if they
feel
don't
like
like
a
it.
lot of times they do, and then once they leave the label, they actually get to put that shit out.
Yeah.
And
I've always
everyone,
thought, though,
like the fans are like, this is totally different, and
I don't
like
like
mad
it.
about it. Yeah, I don't like
think
it.
I like it.
And then, you know, like real human beings listen to this shit and I like it.
Human music.
Human music.
So I thought about that the other day. I'm like, how cool would it be, like in a mass uprising, right? If artists on stage, right? Because you know they're going to get sued for sure. But that, you know, that's a risk that they have to be willing to take. But on stage, they're like right in the middle of a song, in the fucking climax. They're just like, you know what? Fuck this RCA. Fuck this Columbia. I'm out. Sony, eat my dick. I'm out of here. And they all drop the mic at the same time, walk the fuck off. They lose millions.
Yeah.
They may be sued, but fuck, get it off the roof. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I fucking come
Get
at
it off
me.
the roof.
I don't know what to fucking tell you.
He always says all these ridiculous sayings that I've never heard, but they're all great.
I know, it's awesome.
Get him off the roof.
I don't even know how to pretend to make sense of that, but I like it.
Another one he says is, do you have a mouse in your pocket? Like, do you have a mouse in your pocket? What do you mean we? Like, don't include me in this shit.
Yeah, if you're like, well, we did this together, I'm like, you know,
You have a mouse in your pocket. It's so cute. Like, where did you ever get these sayings? But
See, I
they're
feel
great.
like
Prison.
if they did something like that, it would appeal to people like us,
Yeah.
but not necessarily the masses.
Yeah, no.
Not
Because
at
they'd be
all.
like, why is he disrespecting the people that are making him all of money?
No shit.
Look at that privilege go. Look at them fucking just, you know, biting the hand that fucking feeds them.
Well, and then you'd have the kids whose parents are like, oh, you're not listening to them anymore because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
You
What
can't
about-
have this rebelliousness
Yeah.
in your life.
You need to conform always.
What about them
Always.
days of we don't have a lot of those days come by. I remember Marilyn, like when Marilyn Manson was really big in the
Yeah.
90s, and my brother got real upset because he thought, like, my parents were like, you can't listen to that. It like creates violence within
Yeah.
kids and shit.
That's how our parents were too.
Yeah.
Because
The
Marilyn Manson was
stupidest
shit.
fucking
but-
shit I've ever heard in my
yeah.
life.
It just makes you like, where is that at? Where are the people that just fucking make a ruckus and don't give a shit what nobody says and get sued 1,000,000 times for it?
They're in the night.
And then they smile?
Eminem, and then he stopped doing drugs. So
Yeah. But even then, like, you know, the people are trying to cancel him now.
yeah, they
So-
really just fucking hate Eminem. He's never going anywhere.
Yeah.
You just need to leave him alone.
Till he puts out another shitty album, then he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one shitty album away from being like, dude, it's just like, what's that Iceman fucking Chuck Liddell?
Yeah.
He got like right there at the end, he comes back, he gets knocked out like 15 times in a row, and they were like, look, Chuck,
You
Yeah.
need to
put
stop.
the Bud Lights down
Throw
Yeah.
the towel,
and
buddy.
retire, bro. It's about that time. You're fucked up.
Are there any musicians these days that are really... Because it seems like the closest thing to that is like the mumble rappers being like, well, I don't give a fuck if you don't think of music.
God, yeah.
Right.
I'll speak my mind, man.
But even them, I feel like they're all the same. They're all
Yes.
doing the same shit. So no,
Yes.
I can't think of a single artist who's current, who's like that,
No.
causing a ruckus.
I think what you would have to do nowadays would come out on your own label where you're doing it and you're distributing by yourself and taking care of all the fucking everything, putting on the show, all that, right? And do it because you wouldn't get away with it at any big label. There's no way.
Yeah.
You get shelved or thrown in the back. They'd shut it down. Like they wouldn't let nobody see you.
Yeah. Oh, causing too much ruckus.
Yeah, put you in the back. Like, I mean, you'd never be heard of. You'd be like Bob Lazar. They'll just erase you
Yeah.
from the music industry.
You don't even exist.
You gotta go back to being some fucking burger flipping 16-year-old piece of shit. What life do you have now? Like, what did Bob Lazar do after they erased him? Like, what do you do when you go to a job and you're like, I
Got
don't
a
even have
new-
a social security?
He got a new social security number and birth certificate and started over.
It just makes you wonder, like, when you go into the office of the place that gives out the social security and shit, like. Like that government office, and you're like, yeah, my name's Bob Lazar. I've been here for like 40 years. I don't have a number. And then they can't find your original number in the book.
Yeah.
And they're like, where did you come from? Like, what, are you an alien? Like, how weird would that have felt? If his story's true, of course.
Obviously, it is.
Yeah. I mean, how weird would that be,
Very.
It's a weird feeling.
But then I'd probably just go to Mexico and get in with the
Yeah.
the
good place to
cartels
go.
and shit.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way when they kill you, they can never identify the body if they ever
Yeah.
find it.
But then I could just be the ghost of Mexico.
Does that mean you can
Yeah.
commit murder And since you don't have a birth certificate or social security number, you're technically not a human that abides by human law.
Yeah,
long
so
as
then they
you're-
don't put you in the system, and then they just shoot you in the head.
You go out like that.
Kill him like a dog. He's not human.
That sucks.
It kind of depresses me that I can't think of one musician causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
It's bothering me. I'm still thinking about it.
The only person that I thought about was like Russ, and the only reason I say that is because he's actually coming out and laying, the blueprint out to doing it yourself
Yeah.
and fucking the labels over. So that's the only reason I say him.
I thought of him, and then I thought maybe Lil Dicky, but
He fucking,
but no,
No, he's too lovable.
yeah.
Look
And
at that goofy white boy.
Yeah.
I think dude did the rap thing for long enough to get the TV show, comedy TV show that he wanted. And like, that's what he's going to do now. And he's going to act and shit. I don't think he's going to really do rap. You know what I mean?
Which is disappointing.
He did that. The last thing he did that I've ever seen was like that Earth thing that was like a fucking 12-minute video
It
or
was
some
terrible.
shit for kids.
I
I'm like,
really hated
I
it.
don't understand this,
Some
man.
weird shit.
I don't quite understand it.
I'm
But
gonna go check these carrots.
no, actually, I'm super hungry. You hungry? Let's fucking
I
eat
can
it
eat.
up, man. Did you have anything else to bring to the table? I'm sorry. I think I overtook the fucking podcast. My bad.
No, I was just messing with you. Don't.
I'm going to go kill myself. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it on camera. This one's for couch.
This one's for
Yeah.
No, dude, that was episode 98. We tried to bring as much energy as possible to this
try.
tired ass day.
I'll try to get Jim on here.
Jim Jam. I like
Jim,
it, man.
yeah.
What's
'Cause,
Jim's
you know.
last name?
Ray.
Jam.
Awesome.
Yeah. Say, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Jim
man.
Jam.
If you made it this far, thank you for listening to our rants and raves. Please like, comment, and share. Hit the notification button. Or don't, because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No, but thank you for listening, dude. We really appreciate
Thanks,
it. That's Sarah across the table
Hi,
from me.
I'm Sarah.
That's
Hi.
Ian in the center. In the center.
That's Ian.
And I'm Adam. That was episode 98 of the Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.
Skibbity bop.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Wildly Uninteresting Podcast.